to Casey's Garage. Remember me? This guy right here? I know it's been a good minute since the last video, and there's some good reason for that, and I'm going to share that with you, and we're going to play a little catch-up today, and we're going to start by driving one of the new additions to the garage, and let's see if any of you guys can guess what it is. Let me get my hand out of the way. Leave a comment below if you know what I'm driving. It is a convertible, I'll tell you that. So where have I been? Well, I've been here the whole time making content for you guys that will most likely never be seen. Yeah, so over the last few months, I have been working on a new business adventure since being laid off last year, and I've been working on getting a dealer's license, and a couple months ago I finally obtained that, and so that's what I've been up to, is actually sourcing vehicles to fix and retail. Now, I did record just about everything I did, the whole process of getting the paperwork submitted for the license, sourcing my first couple of vehicles, and so on. But unfortunately, I did that all on my GoPro. And for those who have followed my channel from day one, know how many issues I've had with that GoPro. And in fact, it's my third GoPro. So I definitely need to upgrade my equipment, and one of these days, when I get some extra cash laying around, I'll definitely do so. But for now, we'll just have to make do with what we got. And so I started using my iPhone instead. My iPhone, I think, actually has better sound quality and video. However, for whatever reason, when I connect the phone up to my computer to transfer all the files over, 80% of the time, it'll be halfway through or a quarter of the way through a transferring, and it just airs out. So that is what I've been dealing with for the last couple months, and why you guys haven't seen any videos from me. Most of my content's gone, and for what I do have, it's so random that it's kind of hard to even make a video out of. But over the last few days, we've had some rainy weather, so I thought, hey, let's take a minute and sit down and try to figure this out. And of course, I continue to have the same issues as I had the last couple months, and I had to kind of pick one file at a time on my iPhone to get transferred over. I couldn't group a bunch together and transfer at the same time or it'd air out, so it took forever. But I was able to salvage several videos. And of course, one of the first things I did when I got my license is go buy a car. So I signed up for a online auction, and first car I won was a 2013, was it 13? I think it was a 13, Kia Sorento. Fully loaded, very nice car. However, we did have some issues. It's supposed to have been a green light vehicle, which means that there was no known issues present, no leaks, nothing. And well, it had issues. It had a really bad rear main seal leak. It had some suspension issues. It had all kinds of warning lights. And so obviously, yeah, we all know what happened there. So we arbitrated that, and the auction house actually ended up taking the car back. So once that was gone, then I picked up a 2012 Chevy Equinox. And I know they're not the best cars out there. Again, it was another green light, same auction. And but yes, we had issues. Unfortunately, the auction house did not approve the arbitration because I was 1 mile over the arbitration limit. So you want to talk about, well, so I ended up putting probably close to $1,000, if not a little more, into repairs on that car. And unfortunately, the profit margin just wasn't there like planned, but that was the actual first vehicle that I sold under my dealership. And I was able to salvage some video clips and pictures from that car, so I'll go ahead and roll that now. Okay, yeah, so what we're going to do while we're waiting on the first round of the paint to dry on that wheel. We're going to black out the Chevrolet emblem there with some good old black Plasti Dip. And again, just like the paint, light coat. And we'll let that sit for a little bit. And now we'll go back to the wheel. Alright guys, so my dumb butt forgot to bring the alcohol or wax and grease remover, so I had to just wash the wheel down as good as I could. And hopefully we don't have any issues. But if so, then we'll just have to go get some and redo what we're about to do. But using some extra gloss or high gloss Rust-Oleum. And I forgot to bring my respirator too, but that's alright. We're ventilated really well, so I'll put a light coat down, then I'll go outside and we'll work on something else, then come back and put some more coats down. Here we go. Yeah, so what do you guys think of the Equinox? Did you like the Plasti Dip badges? Even though that car was a headache, it ended up actually coming out to be a really nice car, and it probably runs just as good, if not better, than it was brand new. So, and that brings us to another vehicle which I bought kind of at the same time I bought the Kia and the Equinox, but I just kind of put on the back burner, and it is a 2005 Buick Rendezvous. And no, I'm not at a cemetery. I'm on a little walkway and they got these. In fact, that is a memory vault to be open, I believe, in like, I don't know, 2050 or something. I don't know. Anyway, yeah, so the Buick, I actually was able to pull several videos from my phone. And it's nothing too exciting. It was a mess. And I still have it. I have not offered it for sale. It has a transmission issue that I need to sort out. So it's just parked in the garage right now, waiting for another day. But I'll go ahead and, man, I'm gonna roll some of that footage right now. All right, so here is our new addition. And there's our good old F-250. But here is the Rendezvous that I just picked up the other night. It's a 2005. It's only got 101,000 miles, so very low miles. Needs a little bit of work. This panel down here, I know it's dark, guys, bear with me, but right here, that panel, the clip broke, so I just need to tighten that back up to the door. And then up here, the headlight is missing. The guy I bought it from said that it was cracked and the bumper is loose as well, but it's not damaged. But anyway, it was cracked. Then when he went to change the headlight bulb, I guess the whole headlight housing fell apart, so he just threw it in the trash. So we'll go source one of those. Clean title. It does need a windshield, which is going to be the most expensive thing I think we have to do on this vehicle. I don't know if you can see that, but it's got several cracks all through the windshield. This has the captain chairs in the back, as well as the third row bench seat back there, which folds down. And at one time it must have had a system in it. We got some loose wires laying around. Really, it looks pretty good, except the carpets in here are disgusting. I mean, they are black and they're supposed to be tan. What the heck? I swear, as I buy cars, every time, like, oh, this is the worst one, and then the next one I get tops it. I mean, look at this. So a good shampooing, of course. And the seats look pretty good, don't really have any tears. We'll just recondition those. And yeah, so here it is, 2005 Buick Rendezvous. So it is time, I think, to start working on the inside of this Rendezvous, and this is gross. This is by far the nastiest car that I've ever had to clean. All right, so we're gonna zap it with some super clean, maybe. Come on. Just gonna work on the center area right here first. Oh man, that's strong. Yep. So what do you think of the Buick? Was that a good buy? I don't know. I think I only paid like $1,700 for that car. If we get the transmission issue sorted out, it will be a good buy because I've only got about maybe $2,000 altogether into the car. Of course, it does need that windshield, but I did find a company that can replace the windshield for like $300 some instead of the $800 quoted by everybody else. So we'll see. Now, have any of you guys guessed in the comment section of what I was driving today? Because that is the most recent addition to the channel, and it is right in front of me. So I'm gonna go ahead and show it to you now. Okay, so it's kind of in front of me. It's a little ways away, but there it is. That is a 2009 Volkswagen Beetle convertible. Very obvious. I probably didn't have to explain it to you guys. And I'll give you a up-close tour or walk around of it in just a bit. But that is my third vehicle to win from the online dealer auction. And after 2 bad experiences, I was hesitant going at it again. But the conveniency of it being online does kind of help because it allows me time to do other things like work on cars and yell at my cameras and lose footage. So the Beetle is also a green light, and if you guys aren't familiar with dealer auctions, green light means that it's warranted by the auction house. There's no reported issues. It's supposed to shift good. It's supposed to run good. Doesn't mean it's perfect, but there shouldn't be any warning lights. Nothing that really needs attention. Then there's yellow light. Yellow light meaning that there's something's disclosed, like maybe a rough shift or maybe a noise in the engine or an accessory noise like a pulley or something's squeaking. So they'll announce that, and then it's yellow light. So if you win the car, you can report other issues, but you can't report anything that's related to the announcement that made it a yellow light. Then there's red light. Red light meaning it's as is, it's yours, boo-hoo. If you're not happy with it, you're taking it home. So I'm not interested in red light. I don't mind yellow light depending on what it is, but right now, trying to get the dealership started, I'm trying to find green light because I want to get cars that need minimal work. I can get them fixed, get them cleaned, and get them ready to retail as soon as possible. And I'm kind of excited about this because adding flip vehicles for the dealership will give us some new content and a variety of content besides just rebuilds and that kind of stuff. I mean, it's all related, but I'm kind of excited to what it potentially could bring to the channel, and it'll definitely bring more cars to the channel. And I want to kind of just bring you guys along with me as we experience what it's like to be a used car salesman. But don't worry, we're not going to stop doing rebuilds. It's just right now I kind of have to balance my time, and starting a new business, I kind of have to focus a lot of that time over there, which is why we stopped working on the truck. Now the truck is running, it's running very well, except for one little mishap, which I did make a video about, or recorded it, but you know the story there. Early spring, late winter, right when the truck was, we got it running, I used it to pull my car trailer into to tire shop to get new tires on, and on returning home, there was a lot of smoke coming out from under the hood. So I'm thinking, oh boy, right as we thought we were good. But what it ended up being is actually the fuel pressure regulator under the hood, which is known to leak on the 6.0s, indeed was leaking. In fact, it was leaking pretty bad. So the F250 got its first bulletproof upgrade, where we put the Blue Spring kit in, which gives it a longer and stronger spring in the fuel pressure regulator, and supposed to help the injectors get better fuel pressure. And I'll tell you, it made a difference. The second we put that kit in, the truck, I mean, I thought it was running good before. It just sounds so much better now. So truck content will come back. We still have plenty of work to do. We have the exhaust to do, the bumper still to do, and just other miscellaneous things. But we got to take care of some other things first. All right, guys, so here it is. This is the 2009 Beetle. Ooh, not really planned, but yeah, there's a spillway right behind us here. That's awesome. And they are definitely letting water out. We've had a lot of rain over the last few days. And tell you what, I do like the iPhone and the zooming ability and stuff a lot better than the GoPro. I just hope this video will actually transfer to my, or these video clips will actually transfer to my computer without taking 5 hours to do so. But anyway, this is the 2009 Volkswagen Beetle convertible. So again, this was the third vehicle. I actually just got this vehicle, but it's the third vehicle that I purchased from, well, I won't mention their name quite yet, but it's an online dealer's auction. It's supposed to be green light, meaning no problems, no lights on the dash, and good running vehicle. Now, well, let me say this, it's green and yellow light. The yellow light was on the convertible top and the radio. The announcements on it said that neither one of those worked, and they were right, the radio does not work. However, the top works just fine. Now, I'm guessing the inspector for the auction house that goes out and inspects the vehicles for the dealers to put them on the site probably just didn't know how to work the top. And once you release it right here, you have to give it a little push to get the latches to release. And then you just pull that little button right there. And as you can see, the top works just fine. Now, I'm not going to put it all the way down. In fact, I'm going to put it back because it looks like it's going to rain any minute and it's really humid outside. But we'll go ahead and lock this back, see if I remember how to do it. There we go. And that is it. And for the most part, guys, it's not a bad Beetle, or it's not a bad vehicle. It is dirty, which most used cars and trade-ins are. They're pretty dirty. We have a burn mark on the seat, but it's not burnt through the leather, so hopefully we can just re-dye that. But unfortunately, guys, we have an engine light. This one wasn't supposed to have an engine light. It's supposed to be a green light. Now, one thing I'm going to do with all my vehicles that I sell to the public is, you know, obviously they're going to be repaired and detailed, all that kind of stuff, but they're also going to get a full inspection from a third-party local shop here in town. And they go through and do a safety inspection, a full used car inspection. They check the ball joints, they check the suspension. They just make sure the car is as good and sound. In fact, that's the first thing I do when I get the car. Man, it is hot. Is I take them down there and have them look at it. Taking it down to a shop where they have a car lift, they can go through it, check it out. They know what they're looking for. It helps me know what needs to be fixed, but also helps me assure that I am selling a good quality car to the public, because that's the last thing I want, is to sell a vehicle to somebody and then day two, you know, later, a week later, whatever, they call saying, hey man, you sold me a piece of... Yeah, so unfortunately the engine light is for a lot of main stuff. O2 sensors, mass airflow sensor. There's a evap leak. Just a few, like 5 or 6 codes are all miscellaneous codes. And all together, you know, it's kind of pricey to fix. But unfortunately, the auction house will not arbitrate it. In fact, I think all of the auction houses are like this, even Manheim and all those, you know, physical auctions you go to, is they'll only cover repairs if the single repair costs more than $500. So obviously all the repairs needed is going to exceed $500, but it's the way it works. Oh, and one other thing on this car is the auction, when they inspect them, they also, you know, they're supposed to inspect everything, even the windshield. And on the announcements, it showed that the windshield was fine. There was no chips or cracks reported. And now I know it's kind of hard to see, but what is that? You got 2 big old chips right in the driver view. That's very obvious. Now one might ask, well, maybe the window got chipped on the process of being transported, because it did have to go. Well, I don't remember. It came from Illinois somewhere. So I went back and looked at the auction pictures. Of course, it's hard to tell, but I zoomed in as much as I could, and you could actually kind of see some blemishes in the windshield right there in the pictures from the auction. But we'll definitely have some videos on the Beetle. It'll be a fun little project to getting it cleaned up and ready to sell, and I'll show you the process. But that takes us to the next 2 things, which I just picked up literally just a few days ago, right after I got the Beetle. All right, so we're back out here where I store most of my vehicles, and no, the big RV is not mine. But there's Big Red, and as you can see, we have something on the back there. And that is something I just picked up just a few days ago with another car, which I'll show you once I get back home. But it's kind of a 2-for-1 deal. Nice little truck top camper. And the top comes up, so it pops up like a tent on the top. And I'm not going to show that now because it is about to rain. We got some thunder in the background. But this is a 2004 truck camper top. See if I can get the camera to focus. Ooh, there we go. But it's real clean. Really good condition. It's set inside of a garage for like the last 11 years. But I may actually have to try this sucker out and use it a few times before listing it for sale. But Mr. Big Red, like I said, it is pretty much, I've used the truck, but haven't done anything to it besides fix the fuel leak. And then I also put the badge on the front, and as you can see, we decided to go with the black and red. I do need to put some better adhesive on it because I see it's coming off right there. But yeah, Big Red's doing pretty good. And then right behind it, I almost forgot about, is the 2006 Mitsubishi Eclipse. And it was not wrecked. Well, it kind of was. I will have a video on this one because I was able to pull at least a couple of clips off my phone last night. The guy I bought it from hit a deer and messed up the fender, and so I had to do a bit of work on it. But like I said, we'll do a separate video on it because I do think I can salvage some clips there. And then right over here is a car I completely forgot about. It is listed, but it actually listed for sale. So if you guys are interested in a 2010 Toyota Camry, it's for sale. This one really didn't need much. I bought it from another dealer. It just needed a little bit of cosmetic TLC. I need a good interior scrub, but I don't have the keys on me right now, otherwise I'd show you the inside. But it's a good running and driving vehicle. Full AC. It's got a little bit of a armrest issue there. The pleather's starting to tear. But other than that, it's in great shape. Has 189,000 miles on it. But a couple of door dings here and there. But overall, clean looking car for the age. And right here is a 2001 Toyota Echo. This was this is a car I purchased from a guy, real nice gentleman, him and his wife, and they've owned this for many years. They were the second owner. Got 148,000 miles on it. Nothing special. So you want to remember what those are. You got the manual transmission. Everything works. Body's in really good shape all around. They did live it on dirt roads, so I've actually went through the car wash about 4 times, and it needs a good buff. And that's what we'll do here in a little bit. We're going to start getting this cleaned up. The only thing that doesn't work is the AC. All right, so now we're all caught up. I got a lot of work to do. As you can tell, we got a lot of cars to work on, so there'll be a lot of content coming out here over the next few weeks, and I'll do my best to pump that content out on a regular basis, and hopefully won't fall behind again. But that's kind of up to my cameras, if I can get the files to transfer so that I can start working on the editing as soon as I can. But like always, thank you for watching today's video, and if you haven't already, don't forget to subscribe and hit that like button so other people out there can find the channel. And we'll catch you guys next time on Casey's Garage.